Mary Lynn goes into how she introduces it.
So how do you introduce the program? It sounds like you've already kind of touched on that a little bit, like, asking if they pay cash or they're paying cash, and then but how do you sort of bridge that, hey, there's this great program, and people might be going, are you crazy? What do you mean? So how do you do that?
Well, so if you're my client, I would say, are you asking for this price point because of, or let's talk about ways that you want to finance your house. And we have to talk about that anyway. So it's very simple for me to ask, by the way, are you familiar with that senior mortgage or the 62 plus mortgage? No. Is this that terrible reverse mortgage that I've heard everything about? Well, it's like a cleaned up distant cousin. It has some similarities, but nobody loses their house and you still own your house like any other mortgage. It's a mortgage. But it has some things that are specially designed for our seniors so that they can stay in their house and have more cash.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to you about it. It all comes out in the numbers of whether it's good for you or not. But a well-informed buyer is a better buyer. Let's just talk about it. That's all I say.
Yeah.
And then I send the information off and then, let the loan mortgage, the loan officer handle it if they have any more questions.
I love that. I love that.
All right. I wasn't able to see your faces when I optimized for sound, but what was your reaction? Like, did that make sense? Like, how do you get around if someone goes, was that dirty, mean, old, nasty reverse mortgage I've heard everything about? Mary Lynn, I loved you, but now I don't like you anymore, right? Why are you talking to me about that? And this is a serious matter. Like, people really have a friggin' mental issue with reverse mortgages. And there's reason for that, because back in the day when they first, came out, before the FHA got involved, lenders would participate or take or recapture that equity, right? Or they'd force grandma out of the house. I mean, there's some nasty business going on that's still kind of carried forward. Well, that's not the case at all anymore. And what she's trying to say is this is kind of a cleaned up distant cousin. Well, she's from the South, right? So she's bringing the cousin thing in. But you get the idea. I love the fact that she says, listen, she's kind of giving them permission to reject, right? As a salesperson, we always want to share with our client, you have the right to reject this, no big deal. But a well-informed buyer is a better buyer. Let's just talk about it. See if it's right for you. A well-informed buyer is a better buyer. What does that do to the buyer? Well, if she said that to me, I'm going to think, subconsciously, well, I want to be a well-informed buyer. Yeah, I'm a better, right? Like, you don't want to be left out not knowing. So let's look at it, right? Let's share the option with them. And honestly, it's our fiduciary responsibility as lenders and agents that if we know it exists, we have to say, hey, I don't know if you heard about this program for people that are retired, 62 plus. It helps you boost your budget. You don't have to make payments if you don't want to. Definitely I would suggest looking into it. It may not be right for you, but hey, look into it. Well, when we share it with them, they're like, 9 times out of 10, we show them the option and they're like, well, why isn't everybody doing this? Do a lot of people do this? How many people have done this? How come I haven't heard about this before? That's what they say all the time. And you're like, well, it has a bit of a negative connotation, and now that you know the truth, and you know that it could be right for you, let's go, right? So hopefully that's helpful.
Hello, this is Travis Sailing with Fairway Mortgage. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like to learn more about this product, please reach out to me at the email below. We'll happily go over the ins and outs of this program with you. And until next time, bye now.